If you're anything like me, then growing up in the 90s meant one thing: watching great cartoons, and the original Powerpuff Girls had the perfect combination of sugar, spice, and everything nice. But now that we've seen enough of the new reboot of the series, I thought it'd be cool to take a look at these shows and kind of compare and contrast them and do a then versus now. So let's start with the obvious. The new show has an updated look, or an art style is actually not awful for the most part. The girls, the professor, and other major characters look good, but where the show seems to be lacking is in how the background characters look. They used to, in the older show, have sharper edges, have these weird kind of wacky designs, whereas now they look like something out of Adventure Time or something like a show like that, and they're more rounded. They don't really look the same. I just thought that they should have followed the old art style and character design. This isn't a deal breaker by any means. It's just something that, I thought it was a weird thing that they would change. There's really no reason to change it. I guess it's a new style they're going with in modern cartoons. But anyway, let's look at the elephant in the room. All right, the original voice actors of the girls were not given the roles in the new show. Why, we don't really know, and it's kind of just a big bummer, really. I mean, not sure why they went this route with the new girls, but anyway, it is what it is, and they sound kind of similar. It's not terrible, with the exception of Buttercup. Buttercup's voice is enough to just drive you up a wall crazy. It's just not what I wanted her to sound like, and I'm not going to shit on the new voice actresses that much. I mean, I wish I had stuck with the original casting. It is what it is, like I said. But they did bring back some of the original voice acting cast, like Tom Kenny as a narrator and the professor, so that's cool. At least they brought back some of the original voice cast. I just wish they had brought back the original full voice cast, and that would have been a little bit better for me. But the biggest glaring difference between the two shows, to me at least, has to be the writing. It's just the way the girls act and feel is so different from the original show. Whereas in the older show, the girls were full of this childish wonder with a slight mix of the occasional adult humor thrown in it, and it was just this good, seemingly awesome mixture between the two. And now it just seems like the girls have this more tween style, if you will, and they do these weird jokes, and they have these running jokes that just aren't funny. They do the plastic joke over and over again, where they have that high-pitched voice come in. It's not very funny. They make jokes like things about like twerking. The girls are just this weird new generation, and it's not the generation that I grew up with. And maybe that's just me. I mean, maybe that's just me being older, me no longer being the target demographic. I'm no longer in that 5 to 13 age group. I'm 23. So this show isn't obviously meant to please me. It's meant to please people that are a little bit younger. But being such a major fan of the originals, it's kind of hard pill to swallow. Not to mention that the new girls have these weird stereotypes they follow and they stick to a T. I mean, Blossom is a neat freak, perfectionist. Buttercup is a tomboy, and Bubbles is the quiet one with the crazy side. And I know that these themes were present in the original show, but they weren't rammed down our throats nearly as much. I mean, like, we get it. They all have their thing. We don't need to be reminded of it. We don't need to see Blossom, get it pining over an A+, or how she has these weird urges to clean up everything nonstop throughout every episode. It makes me, as the viewer, feel kind of alienated, as if the show has to hold my hand and explain these stereotypes and these character scenarios over and over and over. And again, this probably is due to me being a little bit older, but I don't like when shows hold my hand like that. I don't know. It just maybe, like I said, just me getting older, but I don't like it as much. Another thing that they did is the removal of the character Miss Bellum, which was deemed too sexual for modern cartoons, even though she was never shown dressed sexually in the original. Not sure what they're doing with that. They're just trying to play it completely safe and throw out anything like that. They continued on this route by removing Miss Keen's rounded chest and making her more flat-chested. Just another little change. It doesn't really make the huge difference. I mean, it doesn't really affect the show really at all, just an aesthetic thing. But when you start making things like that from the originals, you start to chip away little by little at what the original formula was for success, and you start to come up with a completely new show, and it's just something that I'm not used to seeing. Overall, the show, in my opinion, it's not terrible. It's not as bad as everyone says. It's not the worst thing to ever come out of Cartoon Network. It's just not the show that me and other 90s kids remember. I mean, maybe it connects better with today's generation, well, with the twerking and the millennial sense of humor. They have all kinds of jokes like that. They use memes, things like that. It's just kind of, it's cringeworthy to me as a 90s kid. It's just kind of a real big letdown. But maybe the kids of today like it more than I do personally. I'm not sure on that, but all I know is personally my opinion is it's not the greatest. Hopefully the revivals of shows that made our childhoods, like they seem like a good idea on paper, but if it's not done correctly, it can cause stain on the reputation of some of our favorite characters, and that's such a tough thing to see happen to some of our favorite characters. And that's why I pray that Cartoon Network takes the source material more seriously on its next big reboot project, which is Samurai Jack. So we will have to wait and see on that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be much better than the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Well, anyway, that's all we have time for today, guys. Make sure you guys click that like button if you enjoyed. It really helps me out when you guys like and share this video with your friends. If we hit 1,000 likes, it'd be so amazing if you guys could do that. So make sure you guys take the time out of your day to click that like button. And if this is your first time on the channel, make sure to subscribe for more cartoon and video game related videos in your sub box daily. Also, make sure to check out my latest video on the new news from the Samurai Jack show that's coming later this year. Like I said, there's some new news about the show coming out right about now. I just made a video on it. If you guys want more information on that, check it out. Link in the description. But until next time, guys, remember, it's always K-Mac time somewhere. So take it easy and peace out.